Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jocelyn. Today I will be recreating this look, my full face foundation routine. So if you like these type of videos, go ahead and keep on watching. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into the video. So first things first, you always want to start with a primer. Today I will be using the Porefessional by Benefit. So basically what you want to do is press this into the pores. So if you have oily skin, this is a really good product. If you have more of a combination T-zone, like I do, this is definitely going to help you blur out your pores, smooth the skin, keep you from getting oily throughout the day. And then next in, I'm going to go with my Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer, Invisible Undercover Coconut Primer. And then put this on the outer perimeters of the face. It's very important to moisturize if you have any type of dry skin, because you don't want your foundation to cling to any dry patches throughout the day. So after you let your primer sit in for a second, you don't want to just go right on top with foundation, because it's going to slip inside and move around and not actually sink into the skin. So after it's dry, you're going to go ahead and do foundation in 115 R230 by Makeup Forever in the Ultra HD foundation stick. So I'm going to go in at the lighter areas where I would normally highlight. Look at your nose, the nose, lip, chin, and the cheeks. This is a very nice, I'd say at least medium to full coverage foundation. You can definitely build it up to make it full coverage. And then I'm going to go in with my Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation in 1.2, but I know this one is mixed with a darker shade, so I want to say 1.2 and 2. So I'm just going to put this on the back of my hand and go in with my IT Cosmetics Buffing Foundation C5050. Just dab it on there. I'm going to focus this more in the areas where I would want to bronze the skin, along with blending in those highlighted areas. You want to blend this down the neck. I like to do more of a stippling motion. I find that with this brush it just works the best, and it keeps the product where I want it, versus doing a buffing motion. It kind of moves the product around a little bit, and I don't want that. Go back in my hairline, on the neck. Make sure that if you are self-tanning, not self-tanning, that you're still bringing it down the neck to match your skin. Be careful around the eyes, you don't want to drag because the skin is very sensitive. So after you feel like you're all blended out, you can go ahead and go in if you feel like you need some more coverage in certain areas. Mine is normally the cheeks. So next you're going to go in with concealer. Today I'm using the NYX HD Concealer Fair and Glow, I think. I like to mix these two together, so first starting out with Fair directly underneath the eye. I like to do a patting motion and then sweep out. So I'm not dragging the product around. actually, as I was applying this, I noticed that it started to get a little bit darker on the skin. So I'm actually not going to go in with Glow. I'm just going to stick with there. It actually is almost like oxidizing to the color that I wanted. I didn't want to go too dark and match my foundation, because you want to go only about 1 to 2 shades lighter, and I feel like the way that it is on my skin right now is about 1 to 2 shades lighter than my foundation. Alright, so now I'm just going to go ahead and blend that in. I like to start with the bottom first. That way I can make sure it is blended correctly into my foundation. You want to take concealer on the high points of the face where the sun will naturally hit. So under the eyes you want to brighten the chin, Cupid's bow, tip of the nose, down the bridge of the nose. I like to pat the nose in because I find that whenever I use a blush or a beauty blender that it picks up a lot of the product, and then I end up with, you know, no foundation on my nose, and I know that a lot of people have problems with that where it's staying. So actually a trick is if you just use concealer on the nose area and then you go in with the foundation, that it should actually stay a lot longer. And then I'm going in under the eye. And to get right in there, I'm going to take my Morphe G38 and just press that in. All those edges are buffed out. So I definitely would say that this is more of a creamy consistency, not too matte. So far I like it. I don't notice much creasing. So I didn't realize, but my camera cut out while I was baking / setting. So basically I just set underneath my eyes, my chin, my lip, down the bridge of my nose, and my forehead. I went ahead and did a little bit of powdering underneath my cheekbones to make them look more chiseled or defined. So now I'm going to go into my bronzer. I actually am going to take my EcoTools, it says tapered blush, but I like to use it for bronzer because it is tapered. So I get it right on an angle. I hold it at like a 40-degree angle, right next to where my contour would be. And I like to blend up. This is the Marc Jacobs Tantastic Omega Bronzer. I used to use the original Omega Bronzer. Tantric Omega Bronzer. But the Tantric is way more orange, I feel like, and this one is a little bit more cool toned. I have more of like a neutral skin tone, so it just works out better for me to use this one versus the more orange, because you want to look sun-kissed, not like a Oompa Loompa. So for bronzer, you want to go on the temples of the forehead, the cheeks, and pull backwards. You want it to look blended as well. You don't want like your bronzer to just look like harsh. A lot of times I do use bronzer for more of my contour versus contouring. It just gives you more of like a soft, fresh face look versus full glam. So this is more of like an everyday routine versus going out or a special event. So I do like to do the bronzer versus bronzer and contour, just so I can get a more natural look. And this bronzer is very buildable. That's what I really like about it. So you can get a very soft bronze, or you can get a very bronzy bronze. Alright, so then I like to take this bronzer as well still. Take a small brush. This is just some unknown brush. I like to start in the this part of the eye and bring it down, and then sweep backwards to make sure it's all blended out. Go in a little circular motion out here to make sure it is blended out and not harsh. And take it straight down the nose, and then repeat on the other side. Now I like to pout my lip out. Do a little bit of bronzer underneath. Bring a little color back into the face where you had previously lightened it. Now I like to go in with highlight. I like to take my NARS Blanc de Sable. It's a highlighting palette. It's basically a trio. It has a very light color, has a very peachy, neutral, peachy pink, and then it has more of a bronzy pink towards the end. I feel like this is a great palette because it could really work for anybody, and it is very subtle but so buildable to where you can get a really blinding highlight from it. So I like to pop it on the high planes of the cheeks, not too close to the under eye, because you don't want your under eye highlighted by highlighter. You want it highlighted by your concealer or a powder. Pop this on before blush. And I like to blend it out. I use my Real Techniques setting brush, but I find that the tapered Don't Like really blends out highlighter. After I do a little bit, I like to go in with my blush. I'm using the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in No Idea. Okay, so I like to take my IT Cosmetics soft touch blush and just dip it in, swirl it around. Definitely knock off the excess because this is a very pigmented blush, but it does blend out nicely, so it's not pigmented and buildable, but you can't blend it out if you go in too heavy. So I like to smile, but I like to bring my blush backwards because it actually shortens the face if you have a longer face, so like I do. So basically you're bringing that blush right in between where you would contour and where you would highlight, so right in the middle. And this blush is very fluffy, so it does a really good job of blending out. It doesn't pack on too much product. It just lays down just enough. And the next cheek. It's more matte, but it does have a slight shimmer to give you a little bit of a glow. So then Desi Perkins does this a lot in her videos, and she takes the blush just a little bit and runs it over the tip of the bridge of her nose. It gives you a very flush-like, sunburnt type of kiss to your face. After, to set everything in, all the powders, you want to go in with a setting spray. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. If you take a look at your face, a lot of times your little hairs have come up, so I like to push it in a little bit. And then I like to go back in with my highlighter. Well, my face is still a little bit wet. So the last spray altogether, I like to really fan and let dry, because if you think about it, you're setting your face so it doesn't move, but if you create facial expressions or any lines and stuff like that, it's going to crease because it's wet. So you really want to take that into consideration while you're setting your face. Just kind of sit there, let it dry, fan it, and it's going to last a lot longer. And it really helps to make your skin not look so powdery, make it look skin-like and fresh. So I'm going to go ahead and do some mascara and finish my brows off camera, and I will be right back. So I just went ahead and did my lips and my brows and my mascara. So that completes this video. I really hope you enjoyed watching, and I really enjoyed making it. I hope you learned something new, something different to do with your foundation. So if you like these type of videos, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Bye!